So my next task here is to introduce our president and speaker, Mr. Dominic Iocco. And he told me I have to give him a really nice introduction and not say some of the things, but you know what? I had my evaluation today. And you can't change those once you have them, so I can say whatever I wanted. So Dominic has a lot of hats at our school. He does a lot of different things, but this year he did something different that he has never done since I've been here. He coached our faculty basketball team when we played the students. And Mr. Ben Pohl was here and Father Joe played. We use that term loosely with Father Joe. But my story with Dominic in this is that I volunteered to start myself in the game, and as being old, in my 20s I was really good, so I assumed I was still good. After 2 minutes, Dominic informed me that I was no longer good anymore. Pulled me out of the game and yelled at me that I need to box out. So I did what any mature adult would do, and I shot daggers with my eyes right at him, and I grumbled to the teammates on the bench, because that's what maturity does. But in all seriousness, he does a lot of things for us, and we could not be happier and prouder to have him as our president, so I give you Mr. Dominic Iocco.
Thank you, Chris, and you're right, you're 25% as good as you thought you were, so a little more endurance, a little work on the shot. We'll keep you in for a few more minutes next year. Good news is the faculty won. We beat the students, which is all that really matters in that game. That was not the case last year, and I credit most of it to my coaching. I'm pretty sure that made the big difference. Pulling people like Chris when it was clearly time makes all the difference. Thank you all for being here tonight. Your presence tonight is truly appreciated. It's a powerful reminder that what we're building here at Lansing Catholic truly matters, because I know that for each and every person in this room, Lansing Catholic has had some sort of impact on your life. And that's a remarkable thing for any institution, to be able to have 300 people show up on a Monday night to celebrate what an institution has done in their lives and in the community at large. So thank you all for being here. What we're doing is truly something special. And tonight is more than a celebration of the past year. It's a declaration of who we are, where we are going, and what we believe Catholic education can and must be. And by God's grace, we've made real progress in living out that mission. This year, our seniors were accepted into some of the top universities in the country: Purdue, Hillsdale, Michigan Tech, Notre Dame. There's a recent grad that's in Notre Dame as well, too. We told John we were going to make fun of him for being here, so let's hear it for John. He survived his first year at Notre Dame. There are a few that go to that school. It's Michigan down in Ann Arbor. Does happen to be one of the most selective schools in the state and in the country, so we are proud of that. And there is a small army that ends up right here at Michigan State, so go green. Together, this class earned over $8 million in scholarships. More impressively, they gave over 12,000 hours of community service here in Lansing. They've grown not just in knowledge, but in faith, courage, and purpose. Athletics has been a surge of energy and excellence lately. For the first time in many years, both our baseball and softball teams are in the Diamond Classic. As was announced earlier, 0-0 after 2, sorry. I was hoping for a better update, but we'll get there. That's a remarkable feat, and really nice to see that balance happening with both of our teams, and we're excited to see what they do over behind us as the night goes on. Our girls tennis team just won regionals for the second year in a row. Our football team played at Ford Field in the finals. Our girls cross-country team brought home a state championship, and we're not done yet. We're hoping for at least one more state title this spring. We're pretty confident we're going to get at least one, which would bring us to 7 championships across 6 different sports in 5 years. Not bad for a mid-sized Catholic school in Lansing, I don't think. Let's not forget, 16 of this year's graduating students signed to play collegiate athletics. That's a percentage that is truly remarkable across the area for a school our size. And it's not a lucky break. That's discipline, that's coaching, that's character, and that's a community like all of you that shows up for these kids every day. None of that happens by accident. It happens because of exceptional teachers, coaches, and staff who are the heart and soul of this school. And while the national turnover for teachers in high schools right now sits at around 23%, for the second year in a row, we will have less than 5% of our teachers leaving the school. That kind of consistency builds culture. As they say, happy teachers make happy students. And I'd add, happy teachers stick around when they believe in what they're building. To all our teachers, coaches, and staff who are with us tonight, would you please stand? Yeah, don't be shy, come on. Even you substitute teachers, Linda, that includes you, substitute teachers. Let's hear it for them. But as proud as I am of our students' achievements, I'm even more proud of who they're becoming. At Lansing Catholic, we're not just delivering content, we're forming character. As Father Max said, the soul of education is the education of the soul. In a world where many schools let students hand in assignments whenever they feel like it, we still believe deadlines matter, because responsibility matters. We teach students that if you have a speech to give tonight, you got to show up and give the speech. Chris and I were talking, if I was funnier, I'd have had a great routine up here of like not preparing a speech, but I'm not that funny. That's why Chris is the MC and I'm not. But ask any employer out there, one of the hardest things today is just to get people to show up on time every day. And that's what we're teaching our students, that formation of character, that really matters, and it really is helping them stand out as they move forward. We're not just trying to produce high-achieving students. We're trying to form servant leaders, young men and women who will do what's right even when no one's looking. And yes, they do fail, just like we all did. I don't know about you, but I didn't always make the best choices in high school, and if you did, we probably wouldn't have hung out and been friends, I'm guessing. But what mattered was that there was someone there to correct me. Now, I did not always like the consequences, I'll be honest. Sometimes I thought they were stupid, just like sometimes our students give Mr. Louis a hard time for the consequences they face. But I'm a better man today because of it. Today we live in a world where consequences are often mistaken for cruelty. But at Lansing Catholic, we believe they're often just grace in disguise, the very things that teach us virtue, maturity, and resilience. See, we're more concerned with forming exceptional adults than we are with managing perfectly behaved students. And that is the heart of our mission. We are striving to become the best Catholic high school in the world, not because we have the flashiest buildings or the fanciest tech, but because we're forming students who are hungry, humble, and holy. Students who lead with courage, live with joy, and walk with Christ. And we're not just dreaming about it, we're living it. You can feel it in the chapel, you can see it in the classroom, you can see it on the field and in the lunchroom and on retreat. The reverence, the laughter, the seriousness, the mission, it's real. Just today, I got to share with 42 students who were nominated for our most prestigious undergraduate award, our John Paul the Great award that we give out to 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. The joy on their face of seeing how some teacher or some staff member recognized some contribution of those students in our building to really living the mission was a true witness. And I gave them the chance. I was like, all right, so now's your chance. Any questions, comments, concerns, things you want to complain about? What'd they say, Stace?
Thank you.
Thank you. They're good kids. That was over 10% of our kids were recognized for such a prestigious award. It's a real testimony to what's happening in our hallways. But I do have to be honest with you, because the fruit is real, oftentimes there's a lot of noise that goes along with it. Rumors, questions, distractions, and yes, sometimes division. But this is not a time for division. Looking at the Father Mac video, I'm reminded of how different Lansing was at that time, how he had multiple high schools, and eventually now we have one, who Father Mac was integral in bringing that vision to bear and to have such a blessing in Lansing. This is a time for unity. And I think it's also fitting that Pope Leo, in his first days of his new pontificate, has called for peace and unity. It's the message of our time. Father Mac's legacy wasn't limited to just one parish. He played a foundational role in the work that did lead to this school. Tonight, the best way we can honor him is by choosing unity. See, I believe we're not just St. Gerard Catholics or Resurrection Catholics or St. Martha or St. Thomas Catholics. We are Lansing Catholics. We are Catholic. This mission belongs to all of us who live here. What unites us, the gospel, our children, our hopes, is infinitely more than anything that might ever divide us. We all want our kids to be loved and to be challenged. We all want a school that shines like a light on a hill. We all believe that Lansing Catholic can not only transform the lives of students, but help transform this city. This school is not perfect, but it is faithful. It's not finished, but it is bearing abundant fruit. And what happens here is changing lives. So tonight, I invite you to stand with us, not just with applause, but with your prayer, with your presence, that I thank you for being here, with your example, and with your generosity. Because this is more than a school. It's a community. It's a launch pad for saints, it's a sanctuary for families, and we hope and pray it continues to be a light in the dark world. And by God's grace and with your help, we are just getting started.